Bar Central fans, what it do? It's your boy, I'm back. Oh, and Mark is here too. Anyway,
Wow.
it's
Wow.
it's NFL draft weekend. I'm in a sport mood, so we're gonna start there. Did you watch the draft? Did you at least see who your team drafted?
Yes, of course.
How you feel about the picks?
it's funny. I was having a conversation with one of my coworkers the day of the draft, and he was like, oh, it's a lot of people saying, we should have picked the receiver, yada 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 yada. And I'm like, you gotta be real careful on who you have these conversations with. Cause a lot of people they don't know shit about the ins and outs of sports and football. You feel me? Like niggas will talk
That's
and be
fact.
like, "Oh, I want us to get this or I want us to get that." And it's like, bro, the issue that we had last year as the Cowboys, the issue that we had last year was we couldn't stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have enough big niggas in the middle of the field on the front line
Yep.
to stop the run.
Yep.
So why not address that with your pick? Why go get a wide receiver who's probably not going to come in and play? Like, you see what I'm saying? This is what I be saying when I say niggas don't know the ins and outs because we just traded for Brandon Cooks in the offseason. Michael Gallup just signed a $60 million deal for what, 4 or 5 years. CD Lamb is our number one. He's about to get paid. That's already three receivers right there. You know what I'm saying? Nine
Yep.
times out of 10,
Yep.
no team is really running those straight up four receiver set every time they on the field. You might get it, a drive or two here, but them three receivers are the niggas that's going to see the field 90-95% of the snaps. So what would be the point of drafting a nigga that's not going to play for the first 3 or 4 years because these niggas are here, and then by the time he do come in and play, he going to be sorry. Then y'all going to be booing that nigga. Nah, let him go somewhere else where he is needed, but we need to address what we need. So, I mean, all in all, I was real happy with the pick. I feel like we addressed a lot of things that we needed to address. We ended up getting a linebacker. We got another corner. I was happy about that. Our scout, his son got drafted to our team.
I saw that.
You know what
I
I'm
saw. I
saying?
was
I
hoping that
seen
he was gonna come to Tampa. I'm not even gonna lie.
yeah, so I was real happy about that. But all in all, it was a good draft. How
Yep.
you feel about Tampa? How you feel about, what y'all did?
Well, before we get there, I personally believe that that the Cowboys should have traded up and went for Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Reason being, y'all needed a big, strong nigga up front. Mozzie Smith, is it Mozzie Smith?
Yeah.
I think that's what his name is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he ain't good or nothing like that, but Jalen Carter was that nigga. I don't care about his off the field issues. He was that nigga. But Jerry, he don't want to trade up for nobody or nothing like that. Some people fall in his lap. He probably wanted Jamar Chase, but he got CeeDee Lamb instead. He wanted Patrick Surtain, but he got Micah Parsons instead, which I am. If I'm Jerry, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. You know what I mean? But I mean, picking as far back as y'all did, like, it's fine. The player y'all got, he should be serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he'll be a rotational piece. I don't know if he's big enough to be a three down back yet. Or three down back, three down lineman. We'll see. Maybe he'll come in on first and second on rundowns, and then third down they'll probably swap him out, put D Law in there or Diggy Zoo or somebody else like that.
Mm-hmm.
To the fans, I hate the Cowboys. I only know their names because we play Madden all the time, and you know how that go. So you
These
learn
are the
niggas that
people
you would
that
never
average.
know.
These are the people that he's naming that average 3 or 4 sacks a game on Tom Brady when we play, and it pisses
Look,
him
my
off.
line be
So,
trash, dog. Donovan
hey,
Smith, he's sorry, but he gone
hey.
now. But anyway, as far as our draft, we did the same thing. We went with some big dudes up front.
Mm-hmm.
Kalanci, I forgot his name. Damn, already. But anyway, he's a D tackle from Pitt. About built exactly, not exactly, but 2-3 pounds within the same weight and height and all that shit of Aaron Donald. So he trained with Aaron Donald. You watch his game, it's like he looked like Aaron Donald, and I'm mad because I'm like, okay, maybe he'll be a good player, but I'm mad
Mm-hmm.
because they compare him to Aaron Donald. Don't do that. Don't do
That's a
that.
big
Compare him to
ceiling to live
somebody.
up to.
Yeah, compare him to
Yeah.
somebody like give him Odiggy Zua, give him a left-handed Vita Vea, give him somebody that he can reach. To
Mm-hmm.
give him motherfucking Aaron Donald is like you giving me false hope. You giving me 65-year-old Tom Brady. It's still Tom Brady, but he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm a little pressed. I want him to do well. I want him to do good. I want to, tank, you know, tankaneers. That's what I'm gonna call us all next year. Oh, before we keep going, hey, shout out to tourist season. Tourist season, what to do? But anyway, uh, yeah, we got a tank, dog. We need Caleb Williams. That's Superman. He need to be a Buccaneer. But for the rest of our picks, they were confusing me. Like you wait to the 29th round to get a tight end when you could have got one in the second round that's more
Hmm.
serviceable. We needed linebacker help. You waited to like the fourth round to get a linebacker, and I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Devin White already asked for a trade. Why not show him like, nigga, we can replace you if we want to. Not
Hmm.
let the draft creep on, and then you finally get a linebacker that can run. But he played with Clancy at Pitt, so maybe they'll have a little chemistry there. But throw that shit away.
All in all, let me ask you this: who do you think was the winner of the draft? What
The
team?
Eagles.
Yeah, and they
The,
fucked around and traded for DeAndre Swift.
so the
That
Eagles
right
took
there
the
was just man.
so they just recreated, bringing Georgia to the NFL between them and the Texans. Because the Texans made those us nigga. I've never seen a team do what the hell they did in this draft to
Me
pick
neither.
two and say, "Fuck it, nigga, we want 3-2," and to
Yep.
take the third pick, like, bro. I keep touching my head 'cause I'm trying to rep my boys, but that was a bold move,
Mm-hmm.
and all I need them to do because I think they traded a first next year to Arizona. I just need them to win 4 games. Just Houston win 4 games. You can even beat Tampa. Please beat Tampa because they're on our schedule. So we get that pick ahead of them. You know what I mean? Because Arizona got their pick next year, and I don't want them to try to tank either. Because I would be pissed. Because Caleb Williams needs to be a Buccaneer. I manifested it. Uh, I manifested James Harden coming back to the Rockets. I manifested Ime Udoka to be our coach. Check. And who else I manifest? I manifested Tom Brady when he chose to be a free agent. I manifested him to the Bucks. As soon as that ESPN came across, I said we going to the Super Bowl. We went to the Super Bowl. So my manifestations are working. You just got to be real, selective about where you manifest. You know what I
It
mean?
must be some people out here manifesting him to go to the Dolphins because that's the talk of the wire right about now. He
I
just
don't
had a
care now. I don't care.
he just had a report that said or an interview, I guess somebody caught up with him and they was like we hear a lot about this Miami situation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about, Miami? And he was like, I got a lot of friends in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
You bet
So
not.
I mean, hey, as of right now, that's the rumor on the rumor mill that he might head there. And
You
I'm
bet
gonna
not.
tell you, their defense is real solid. I'm not gonna call it
Oh, it is.
great, but their defense is real solid. Now their offense, that's a whole nother. We already know who they got on offense. They literally have the fastest offense in the NFL. So
Yeah.
you put Tom Brady on the Miami Dolphins, they're immediately contenders for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. And
And
their
we have to
division
play
would
them
be
this
stacked.
coming year.
We don't.
Yeah. So
I, Honestly,
this
I don't
is
care. I don't care what nobody else is doing because I need to suck. I need Tampa to go back to being
pause,
terrible.
pause, pause, pause.
Pause. Hell yeah, pause. Matter of fact, just delete all that. Delete all that.
Nah, that's getting clipped. That's coming out.
But fuck. Nah, we need to be terrible. We need to be terrible. I don't want to win no games. No games. We need to be 0-17. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Y'all
Because
should
that
just
will
go
be
get Jameis
yesterday.
back for the year.
We already got Baker Mayfield.
I think you got a better chance of winning with Baker than you do with Jameis.
I don't want to win. And no, we're not winning with Baker. That motherfucker's
That
sorry.
that's
He's
my
sorry.
point. Y'all are gonna probably end up winning more with Baker than you would with Jameis. So it would be better to go get Jameis back. Because you know what Jameis is
We can
gonna
go
give you.
get
He was there for what, 6 years?
5. But yeah, I don't
Five?
want him to like. My thing is, I don't want them to feel like, oh, we're still contenders or we still have players in their prime. Their prime will be next year too. Some of them, because Mike is like 30, Levante like 32, 33. Levante getting up there. Dang. Just rest everybody. Tristan Wirfs only need to play a little bit of the season. We don't need no all pros. We don't need no fantasy picks. Nothing.
I
Tank,
will
send
say
everybody
this
home.
though. This news came out earlier today, and even though I hate that team, I'm still a human. Um, it was reported Shaq Barrett lost his daughter, his 2-year-old daughter
Yeah,
today. She fell
yeah,
in a family pool, and
and drown.
she
Yep.
she drowned. So R.I.P. to that little baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And prayers go out to bro and his family, because I couldn't imagine what it would be like losing a child. And I know he probably got to be going through it right now. That
I
the
seen
whole
that on
family.
Twitter. As soon as I seen it, I just got off. Like, damn,
Yeah, it
that
popped
sucked.
right up on
That
my
sucked.
phone, and I was just like, man, this is some terrible ass news. Like, for that type of shit to happen to anybody is sad, especially to a 2-year-old baby. You know what I'm saying? And then at
Yeah,
the same time, like, you in the NFL, so you know what comes with that when news like this break out. You can't do nothing without somebody putting a camera in your face, asking you about how you feel, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like XYZ. Like I'm afraid that they're not gonna give him time to mourn. And I don't know how to say this without it sounding bad, but I think the only fortunate thing about this whole situation is that it happened in the off season, to where he's not required to be in front of any cameras right now. If this was
yeah, yeah.
in mini camps or OTAs or during the season, during the playoffs, you in front of a camera 24/7, 3 to 4 days out of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hopefully, they're able to grieve properly. And, whenever bro is able to get back to football, what I'm saying, let him get back. But yeah, that's
And
a
he
that's
coming
a
off a torn Achilles. I think that's what it was. So yeah, it's a rough time for him.
that's a terrible thing to go through.
And yeah, that just brought me down. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Now I
welcome.
got to figure out how to follow that up. This what I'm gonna do. So I don't know if you watch WNBA. I do. It's my shit.
Mm,
Uh, go get your brother. Um, first of all, I don't know if we talked about it last week. Lamar getting his contract.
we did not, because it happened this week. So, because it happened what?
Well, before we get to that, I just want to make a uh, uh, two quick points, and we ain't even got to stay on them long. One, the disrespect. Uh, Jack Harlow in one of his songs, I didn't fucking hear it because I don't like Jack Harlow. He said he's the second best white rapper ever. Disrespectful, because you cannot out rap Token, uh, Yellow Wolf. Honestly, you can't even out rap Lil Dicky
Mac Miller.
or Mac Miller or the other dude, Asher Roth. You can't out rap none of them. Now they might not have sold, but like we always talk about the machine, right?
Right.
The machine is why you won't. And this is the machine in the negative way, because I ain't supporting this white rapper. You only get one. You only get one. Just wanted to point that one out. Have you heard the album?
Uh, the
It's,
kids
it's
miss
new. I
you
think it
back
just came
home or
out
some
last
shit.
Friday.
Oh no, if it's new,
Nah,
then
it's
no, I
called
haven't heard it.
I think it's called Jackman. We'll
Nah,
see.
I
I'll
definitely
probably
haven't
listen
heard
to
it.
it tomorrow. It's fine. He doesn't get no shine on this. I don't even like him on his own songs. That one song that was on the radio that they was put. Oh my god. Anyway,
The
moving
Fergie
on.
remix or sample,
Uh, ding,
Glamorous. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was so mad. That shit's so trash. That
yeah, it
shit's so
pissed me
trash.
off.
Like y'all really gonna play this and make it number one? Like it's good? But y'all don't want to play. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's
Okay,
vomit on
what's
his
your next
sweater
point? What's
already.
your next
Mom
point? Because
spaghetti.
we're not
All
gonna
right.
do this.
He's nervous, but on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forget. Come on, man. Don't. Come on, y'all. Come on. Let's do better. But anyway, moving on. So, I don't know if you watch the WNBA. Uh, I do. I love
Sparingly.
the WNBA. They about to start. Uh, Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammond got an interview for the Toronto Raptors head coaching position.
Wasn't she like an assistant coach or something with San Antonio like a year or two ago?
I believe
She
she
was
was.
somewhere on
I
their
do
coaching
believe so.
staff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I think this was first year as a head coach for the Las Vegas Aces, who just won the championship, and my girl Asia Wilson got the MVP for the
Mm.
season. So I think that's a big step, a
That is.
big step.
That is.
Because Greg Popovich, yeah, it was the Spurs because he don't play no shit. I mean, he didn't like leave her in charge, not from what I've seen or heard, because Tim Duncan is on the staff, and if it's
Right.
Pop, it's Tim Duncan, then it's
Yeah,
everybody else.
definitely.
That's how I
Definitely.
go. But she that girl is a great ass coach. The Vegas
She is.
Aces were just monstrous once she got there. They couldn't be stopped. And losing was not a thing. It was not a thing with her on the roster because she knows basketball. You learn it from
Mm-hmm.
Pop. You learn it from probably the greatest basketball coach of all time. I know you got Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, and all that shit, but he did this without having the best player uh in the league at the time. Tim Duncan was up there, but he ain't better than no Kobe. He ain't better than Shaq. You know what I'm saying? David Robinson wasn't better than Olajuwon, in my opinion, or Michael Jordan. So he ain't had the best player, but he still did
Mm-hmm.
his thing. But yeah. So that's just the two things I wanted to point out. Congrats to her for getting the interview. You got your foot in the door. Um, so if she gets the head coach job at Toronto, hey, all power to you. I
I
fuck with
feel
that.
like you said, that definitely is a big step, and it definitely opens the door because there are a lot of women out here who are qualified to coach, and I feel like they should be able to coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't like the coaching carousel where you get fired from Houston, but then you get the job in Sacramento, and then after 3 years you get fired there. Then you go be the coach for New Orleans, and then he learned his lesson. His team got to the playoffs. Now let's put him in the big market. Now
Yeah,
you coaching the Lakers or you coaching the
yeah.
Knicks, and then you trash as fuck. And it's like, bro, just find. It's the same thing in the NFL. Just find new coaches. Look at
So
what
let me ask you
I don't
this.
want to say Bill Belichick because his
Uh,
tree don't work.
Let me ask you this. In terms of coaches, we're gonna stick to the NBA.
Hmm.
Do you feel like a team's success is more so, or their shortcomings? I'm not even gonna say their success. Do you feel like a team's shortcomings is based on the team, who's on the floor, or the coaches?
Uh, I'm gonna say it's 50-50 because schemes matter. That's
Mm-hmm.
coaches, and then what you do on the field or the court matters also. So let's put this in perspective.
Right.
The Water Boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was happening in the championship, the Bourbon Bowl, when Bobby Boucher came back at halftime and and the Gators won the Bourbon? What happened in the second half? The coach got some confidence. The
Right.
players start rallying around their star player. They win the game. The
Right.
first half, they ain't had their star player. I'm not saying he didn't play, but or that he wasn't playing well. They were shit. Everybody was scared.
Mm-hmm.
They were spooked. So let's put it in context. Mike Brown, he coached for the Warriors. He coached head coach for the Cavs. I think he coached the Lakers too, if I'm not mistaken. And now he with Sacramento. Today was Game 7. I might be mistaken about the Lakers, but they didn't have so many damn coaches since like 2010. But anyway, today was Game 7, Sac versus Golden State. Um, and Sacramento didn't bring it. They did not bring it from Game 1 or from the first quarter. Motherfucking Sabonis wasn't shit. In the fourth quarter, De'Aaron Fox wasn't taking over. He passing the ball. I know your finger broke and all that, but come on, dog. It's Game 7. It's Game 7. Unless you're just done and you're tired. So it's kind of like Mike Brown didn't get his people ready, and then they also didn't show up because I didn't think the Warriors were that good, and they were on the road, which they haven't won a lot this year. So all in all, it's it can be a mix of both because I'm never going to say that Pop didn't have a good scheme, but his team still ain't make the playoffs. You see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? He don't have the talent. So it could be a mix of both. For some teams, it's a mix. For others, the players don't show up. For some other ones, coaches are spooked. Let perfect example. Mike D'Antoni don't know shit about defense, but he will have you the MVP, scoring 35 points a game, have you shooting the most threes you've ever shot in your career. But what happens when you miss 27 3-pointers in a game 7 in the Western Conference Finals against the defending champions? Is that
You
the coach or
lose.
is that the scheme?
I mean, at that point in time, you can kind of put it on both. Like, because if your scheme is to score, 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 there's gonna come a day, and everybody who's ever played sports knows this. There's gonna come a day where the ball just don't bounce your way.
That's facts.
You're in a 7-game series, so just because you was hot for games 1, 2, 3, don't mean you're gonna be hot for game 4. Just because you was hot for games 3, 4, 5, don't mean you're gonna be hot for game 6 or game 7. Like,
Yeah.
so the games where you need to actually come in, play as a team, and close the team out, that's when schemes, that's when team ball, that's when everything else comes into play. I feel like a lot of these coaches, they be trying to live and die by their stars. This is why Pop is forever one of my favorite coaches. This is why I'm really appreciative of Steve Kerr, even though I'm not a Warriors fan. But Steve Kerr knew how to come into the Warriors and say, yeah, I have Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. Yeah, I got Klay Thompson. He'll be up there one day. But y'all niggas gonna play as a fucking team.
Yep.
As a fucking team. And he knew how to implement things in his system to make them play as a team, to make it easier for
Yeah.
his guys to score in certain positions. You know what I'm saying? And
Plus,
play
Steph was just
defense.
going crazy.
I mean,
Steph
hey,
was just
that's what
going
he
crazy.
does. That's what he does. You know what I'm
I
saying? But
fucking hate him.
hey, man, congratulations to them.
No,
The
fuck
better
them.
team got it. That's all you can
Nah,
say at
fuck
the end
them.
of the day.
You know I'm anti light skin.
I will say this, though. It is wild just thinking in your mind that the Kings took them to 7 games.
It's not wild. The
That is
Warriors are
wild.
not unbeatable. We're not finna keep talking about the Warriors because I
I'm
hate them.
not saying that they're unbeatable. I'm just saying from the aspect of when was the last time the Kings were in the playoffs?
That was a long time ago and they got cheated. But anyway.
So they got cheated by the Lakers when they were supposed to win the championship in
Oh,
'02.
God,
But
yes.
we're not going to bring
Yep.
that up because, boy, that shit pisses me off to this day.
That's why I was hoping that they would beat the Golden State Warriors, play the Lakers in the second round, beat the Lakers to avenge 2002, and then play the Clippers. But obviously, Kawhi, and then the Clippers would have beat them, and then the Clippers would have went on and beat whoever on the East, because that's how I felt they was going to beat whoever had Kawhi stayed healthy for 40 games.
Before we move on, speaking of going crazy, motherfucking Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, boy.
Jimmy been
That's
spazzing.
Listen, for us brown skinned people, Jimmy Butler is our last hope. He has to win the fucking championship, or we have another sport where it's light skin season. Patrick Mahomes already won. Okay, Jimmy, or at least Joel and Harden. Somebody, come on,
Yeah,
do
it
it.
ain't going to happen for them.
Do it for us. Do it
But
for us.
Jimmy been fucking spazzing. Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah, he
Because
been going crazy. He
that
been
nigga
going
has
crazy.
been going crazy. All up and down any timeline I'm on any app. They all just they calling him Hemi right now. Hemi motherfucking
I know.
Butler is his new nickname. But
Yeah,
that nigga been going crazy. I really felt bad for him when he lost in the finals against the Lakers.
I did too because I hate the
I,
Lakers, and
yeah, me
anytime they
too.
win, I have to find a way to say that they cheated, which
And
they
if
did
it,
cheat.
it felt
I don't
like
know how.
it felt like Jimmy was fighting that team by himself, like he was getting jumped. But they couldn't stomp him out. They ended up winning,
So
but they
listen,
couldn't stomp him out.
so that little part right there, he was getting jumped, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that's the narrative that I use to define every Warriors championship since 2015, 16, right? I was just arguing with some people on your relatives' Twitter or Facebook. Everybody talking about, oh, Steph passed LeBron. No, 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 he did not. He did not. First of all, he put Kevin Durant nappy head ass on his team. Steph never won the Finals MVP until last year. Eh. Um, Anytime he played LeBron, it was 3-on-1, 2-on-1. When it was 3-on-3, they lost. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. First time they went to the finals, Kevin Love, Kyrie get hurt. It's Steph, Clay, Dre. versus LeBron. 3-on-1. In most scenarios, who gonna win? The three niggas. The next season, Steph, Clay, Dre, Kyrie, Kevin Love, LeBron. Who won? The bigger star. Came back in 7. Draymond got suspended, but he was kicking niggas in the dick all year. So it was about time. God damn it. So the next season, they get KD. Mind you, they just got taken to 7 by Houston in the Western Conference Finals. We was running with them. But anyway, the next season, they get Kevin Durant. Kyrie decides he wants to be his own leader. He go to Boston. The Rockets bring in Chris Paul. So now you got James Harden and Chris Paul versus Steph, Clay, KD, and Draymond. And we was kicking their ass, but we couldn't finish it. They beat the shit out of us. We missed 27 threes. Missed our chance to go to the finals. And then it was them 4 against LeBron. They're going to win that. And then the very next year, they did the same thing. And then the year after that, they could have three-peated. Steph, Clay, Dre, KD against Kawhi, if you want to say Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry. And then you lose Clay, and then you lose KD. Now you niggas getting jumped, and then y'all lose. And then last year, it was Steph, Clay, and Dre, and Jordan Poole versus Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. 4-on-2. So it's never been an even fight. They never had an even fight. Nobody. And that's how they win. So
I mean, I will
like
say
I also
this.
said,
Go ahead.
I said that they drafted their nucleus. Steph, Clay, and Dre was drafted. But you want to talk about all-stars? They all made the all-star at a certain point. But now you talk about your 3 all-stars versus just a James Harden or a James Harden and a Chris Paul, and then you add Kevin Durant. You tipping the scales in your favor heavily. You see what I'm saying? If you them. So to say Steph passed, nah, ain't no way.
Here's my
They want to
question
talk
to
super
you.
teams, but Steph got one too.
Here's my question to you. Is Draymond Green a top 25 player right now?
So I break it down differently because you
I
have
just
top.
need one answer. I just need a yes or a
Hold
no.
on, I have to give you the basis. There's a top 25 for people who score, and then there's a top 25 for people all around. All around, hell yeah, he's top 25.
Is
Scoring,
Draymond
no.
Green a top 25 player right
I'm
now?
trying to explain to
No,
you.
because I don't want the goalpost moved. I don't want the you know what I'm saying? I don't want I don't want nothing but just a clear,
I'm not
precise
moving
answer.
the reason you can't just say no.
Watch
Because
this.
listen,
Watch this. No,
listen.
wait, listen. Watch this. Is LeBron James a top 25 player right now?
Yes,
So why can't you say the same thing for Draymond? It's either
their roles
yes.
are different.
It doesn't matter. He's a player. Fuck the roles. He's a player. Is he a top 25 player? Is he a top 25 player?
Listen, and I'm going to educate you for a second.
Oh my
Basketball
God, he's dodging.
not,
He's dodging.
Listen. Basketball is not a one spectrum sport, meaning it's not just scoring that's counted on the stat sheet. There are like 5 or 6 different categories.
Who said
Points,
scoring?
blocks. Listen, points, blocks, steals, assists, rebounds, turnovers. Right? So you can get a guy like, let's say you got a guy like Luka Doncic. Listen. This is important.
Oh my
this
God.
is why things matter. Luka Doncic will score 39 points, and you will say, oh, he's a great scorer. Then you look at his stat sheet, and he's like 2 of 9 from 3. He's like 12 for 35 from the field. Then he's like 9 for 10 from the free throw line. 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 6 turnovers. Is that top 25 just because he's got 39 points? He's still got 6 turnovers. Moving on. Trae Young. I'm going to just keep giving you an example. Trae Young. He have 39 points, 13 assists, but he will get scored on, and niggas will score 40, 45, 50 on him with him as a primary defender. So what? He's a player, right? He's a player. Does that make him top 25 just because he can score 39 but give up 50? Does that make him top 25? Some will say yes. Hold on, let me keep going though.
Oh my God. Here's
I'm
the
just this is
no, fuck
this
this.
this is what I'm
Fuck
trying
this,
to
because
give
we
you.
not
I'm
about to
trying to
do
give
this.
you. It don't
At
matter
the
if
end
he's
of the
top
day,
25 or not. He
at
was
the
an
end of the
all-star.
day, no,
That's top
fuck
20.
nigga, we already know what goes
He
into
was an
motherfuckers become.
all-star.
We already know what goes into motherfuckers becoming an all-star. Nigga, you can get voted in because somebody else got hurt and couldn't fucking play. It was a lot of niggas that have been all-stars that
Or
shouldn't have been all-stars. We've been seeing this shit from
or
the beginning of time.
or you could be on your second or third championship run and be the best power forward or top 2 or top 3 best power forward in the Western Conference. This is why I'm saying it's Draymond is a special case because he don't do a lot of scoring, but he leads his team in assists. He could not this year, but normally he leads the team in rebounding. So it's hard to say that talent-wise, no, he ain't as talented as all these other players. But his impact on the game is much greater than what people can see with their naked eye because all they see is Steph shooting from the parking lot.
Once
So
again, I understand that.
his
All
impact is
I asked
different.
you was, is he a top 25 player right now?
Look,
Can
I
you
think
pick
personally,
25 players over Draymond?
yes, all of them gonna be on the Houston Rockets, but that's my
Okay, so
biasness,
if
and I
if
hate the Warriors.
if he's not a top 25 player, then there's no need to say Steph, Clay, Dre. He's not even top 25. He don't
No,
need to
no,
be in
I'm,
there.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that as far as their nucleus, as far as they drafted those three, and that three was in every single championship run. That's what I mean. You can throw in Iggy, you can throw in Sean Livingston, you can throw in uh Kevon Looney. Like they had a bunch of different pieces here and there, but the nucleus has been Steph, Clay, and Dre. That's
There's a
why
bunch
I
of
get it that
people.
way.
There's a bunch of people, because I just had this conversation with somebody. There's a bunch of people that love to downplay the talent that Golden State has. Like, oh, they jumped this person, they jumped this person.
They did.
You can't blame them because they drafted well. The only player that
I'm
was on their
not.
team that, no, I'm not saying you. I'm saying people in general. Nobody can blame Golden State because they drafted well. The only player that they did not draft that was a super fucking star was Kevin Durant. And they won one, lost one with that nigga on the team. But
No, no,
the
no. They
point is,
won
or
two and
two,
lost
I'm
one,
sorry, two and lost one with that nigga on the team. But my point is,
and they won
at
50 plus games 3 years in a row. Let's put the narrative in there of what actually happened. The only
you
team that had a
can't
better
blame
record than
them,
them
but
was
even
Houston
still, you
Rockets.
can't blame them for having a good team foundation. He
No, I'm not.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying people in general. But this is what I'm saying. When people come in and they start having these conversations about the Warriors, they start having these conversations about Steph and who they've beat. You can't be mad at the Warriors for doing a good job with their front office and their roster. They drafted well. They've kept their talent. They've let their talent develop. And they've built a system where these niggas can thrive and succeed together. You see what I'm
I agree.
saying? Because I feel like
I
when it
agree.
comes to LeBron, everybody has an excuse. But nobody was talking shit when he went to Miami and teamed up with D Wade and Chris Bosh so he can win. Nobody said nothing. It was just cool. He can go
I
make
get
his
it.
three-peat. But when he was jumping
So let
people,
me
it was okay. When he had that season where he signed and traded for every fucking body to come to the motherfucking Cavaliers, and then the day of the trade deadline, he traded half the fucking team away for a bunch of role players and shooters. Nobody said
right.
nothing in. That was one of his greatest
But
rosters on paper. I mean, some of those people were old, but just listen. I'm saying just as far as the names, just as far as the names. You looked at a roster and you saw LeBron James, D Wade, Kevin Love, Kyrie, Derrick Rose. You started seeing all these fucking names on
oh,
paper.
name wise, yes, they
That's
have
what I'm
great
saying.
names, but
Name wise,
them niggas
you
didn't
looking at one of
produce.
the greatest rosters on paper. But like I said, some of those people were old. Some of them were coming off injuries. Of course, they weren't going to play the same. They were not in their primes. But that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah,
look at
Kyrie
all of
wasn't
these
there.
people that got put on the team for this man, they could not win. Everybody was the problem. So he shipped half the fucking team away the day of the trade deadline and got a bunch of 3-and-D motherfuckers and then took them niggas to the motherfucking finals.
Wait,
You
wait,
see what
wait.
I'm saying? When he
Say that
went to
last
LA
part
and
again.
pulled
Say that
AD,
last
pulled
part
Russell
again.
Westbrook,
Say that last part again.
he
And
traded them
took
away
them to the finals.
and took them to the
Took
finals.
them. But who was the solo engine in this whole thing? You can say Kyrie was an engine at one point, but LeBron was a bigger engine. Kyrie was like the backup engine.
I mean,
And that
Kyrie
motherfucker was
definitely
playing
had moments
75
in the
plus
finals where
games.
that nigga was taking over for LeBron.
Listen, Kyrie might have dropped 43 games, but you can only remember 1 or 2 moments. That I guarantee you.
Because
And
who
I
is the fucking
challenge.
light going to go to? Who is the
Like
light
he
going to
had
go
40
to,
points.
whether he drops 40 or not? Who is the light going to go to?
If
It's
he
going
would
to
have
go to
showed up,
LeBron.
well, listen, LeBron averages 40, 20, and 15. And Kyrie gets 40. No assists. You know, he had games with 0 assists. And then the media said something about it. And then the next game, he had like 20 and 10 or something like that. But they had to speak on it for the nigga to pass the ball. Because you give it to him, you might as well go play defense. Because that nigga's not giving you the ball back. He's a quarterback. The only thing he's going to do is get rid of it. But what I'm trying to say, and don't forget that LeBron had like, he averaged 35, 13, and 8. Or no, it was 35, 8 and 8, or somewhere of that. And they gave the Finals MVP to Wiggins. Not Wiggins. Iguodala. So another point to be made: Steph was never the best player on the court. I
How
don't
so?
personally think Steph was even the best player on. LeBron was the best player, or Kevin Durant was the best player on the floor for all of their series.
But what team
And then
won?
in his last one, huh?
What team won?
Kevin Durant. God damn it.
What team won?
The Warriors. They had
Oh,
more.
okay.
They had more niggas.
Oh,
So if
okay.
I say Marcus, hey, I want to fucking fight you and whoever in your house right now. Who all in your house?
What that nigga say on the wash is me, Face, Slim. But to your point, you're trying to say that they had the numbers advantage. I get that. But what I'm saying is we're not going to sit here and act like LeBron did not also have help. It's not our fault. They played better
Okay.
than y'all. Nigga, you had Kevin Love.
So
Kevin
so
Love at one
listen,
point in time was a 20 and 20 nigga on a
he
consistent
was.
nightly basis.
He was. He was.
You're
Hold
not going
on
to do
though.
20 and
Hold
20
on.
with LeBron.
You missing the whole picture. You're missing the whole picture, right? There were some teams out west, right, that LeBron would have had to go to the finals and play against. You know who them teams were?
The Rockets.
Hell no. Hell no. We had Scola. We had Rick Ross. No, Yao Ming had
No,
retired. No, we were
when are
not
you
good.
talking about? Are you talking about that same finals?
06. The
Oh,
first year,
okay.
the
Well,
first
no,
time
yeah,
you
you
went.
talking about a whole different year,
Yeah, no. So Dirk and them,
right? The
Kobe and them,
Spurs.
I think, oh my God, the Spurs is who beat them. How many superstars did the Spurs have?
2 if you include Kawhi. Oh, you talking about 06? Oh, well, Tim Duncan.
Tony,
You can kind of put Tony
Timmy,
Parker in there. Ginobili.
and Manu.
Yeah.
And then they had Stack was there. Who else was there? They had a couple people. I can't. It was
Boris
so long
Diaw,
ago, but
who was like the
they had a
Draymond
bunch. No, he
Green
was on the
before
Suns.
Draymond
He was on
Green.
the Suns.
In
He was on
06?
the Suns then. Yeah, because they had Amari and Steve Nash still. But anyway, no, Amari might have been on Carmelo's team.
Nah, he wasn't on the Knicks by then.
No. Carmelo was still yeah. So
Carmelo
so they
was
was
in
out there.
Denver. Oh, yeah, so he would have had
Yeah,
to play
so
Denver.
yeah, Denver didn't get there. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is teams had a bunch of people. 2006, name somebody else besides Ilgauskas on that motherfucking Cavs team.
On what team? On 06? Larry Hughes, Daniel Gibson, Drew Gooden,
Mm-hmm.
like
Well,
Danielle Marshall.
we know. So this is bad because
Like,
we
you finna
know.
ask me
We
this
know.
question? Like, my nigga, I keep
But
going.
he take that team to the finals and he plays Greg Popovich in the Spurs. How do you win that? You can't win that by yourself.
But here's my
Not with
point, though.
fucking
On paper,
22-year-old
right?
LeBron.
When you look at that on paper, because like you just said, Greg Popovich has never had the best player in the NBA.
No, and he still didn't. He still
So
did
this
it.
is my
But
point. Technically,
was Timmy top
you're
25?
taking but yeah, hell yeah. But this is my point. At that point, at 22 years old, LeBron was too.
Top 25?
At that time, yes, he was. It wasn't
I'm
nobody
trying to
over.
remember
I'm not
everybody.
gonna say nobody, but it
I'm a
wasn't 25 players over
yeah,
LeBron at that time.
because Kobe was that nigga. Wade was there. Shaq was still there. He wasn't up there, but so he was probably top. I'm gonna say at the worst, top 10 LeBron, because it was still some niggas in the league. T
It
Mac was
was.
still here. Uh, 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 Carmelo was still here, so it was still Chris. Well, they was in the same draft, but
Yeah.
you know,
Chris
Wade and
Paul had just came
HBC,
in.
Chris. It was a bunch of niggas. So yeah, so to say top 25 at
He
the
was in there.
lowest of the low, yeah, he top 25. At the the worst I could say is top 10, but Kobe was definitely number one.
I mean, and I get that, but that's my
So,
point. So like,
but Timmy,
and when you look at that team, technically, that's Tim Duncan versus LeBron. Tony Parker had not emerged.
no,
Listen, Tony Parker had not emerged as a solidified superstar in '06.
he had 4 championships already. No, 3. He already had 3 championships.
Tony Parker.
Yes, they had
Tony
3 at that
Parker.
time.
You know Tony Parker
Yes.
wasn't on that 90s team, right? With him and David Robinson. You know he wasn't there, right?
They started winning in 2000. And he was there. Because he was there all Tony got 5, right?
So listen.
Tony, Manu, Ginobili.
Listen. So if they started winning in 2000, who won in 2000?
The Lakers in
And
2000,
then
2001, 2002, 2003.
right. And then in 2003, who won?
Detroit.
Were they 3? No, I think the Spurs were 3.
No.
Yes, and then Detroit was 4.
Because the Lakers won 3 times in a row, and then they lost to Detroit in the finals. And then the next year, which would have been 04, the Spurs won.
Are you sure?
So he got 03, 05, 07, and 14. So he won that one after. So when I say 04,
Yeah,
I mean
so
like
he won
the
in
championship
03.
was in 04. Not the 03 season. I'm saying the year he won the championship, because it goes to the next calendar year,
Right.
was in 04. But that 03 season ended in 04. That's when he won. And then after they won, Miami won, D-Wade and Shaq.
Because that was
And then
Shaq's first year
that's
on
when
the
they
Heat.
came back. Yeah. And then the Spurs came back and they beat LeBron and them. And LeBron, ain't no them. They beat LeBron in the finals.
So you telling me Tony
that was
Parker was
his-
a superstar right then?
He got 4.
Tony Parker was a
could
top
have been a
25
superstar.
player right then? Come on. I'm waiting. Because
So-
don't forget, even if we just take out everybody else, let's just do some point guards. We still had niggas like Gilbert Arenas was there. Baron Davis was there. Steve Francis was there. Like, we still had some niggas that was there. So
You talking about hurt ass Steve Francis, who was playing for the Rockets and he stayed hurt? I ain't counting him.
regardless.
Because he stayed hurt. Nigga don't play 30 games.
So we
this is
gonna
what
really
I'ma
say he was a top 25 player?
Listen, in their system, because this is going back to coaching now. In their system, ain't nobody finna be a fucking Manu. How many points you think Manu could really score in an open scheme like what Denver was doing or what the Pacers were doing? It's just
I
in
give
that
Manu
scheme.
17.
Hell no, Manu scored 30 easy. You can't stop him. So this is what Pop says. When you're driving, instead of finishing at the rim through contact over 2 people, kick it to the corner. So if Tony's in a corner and let's say Manu got 7 points, Tony at 0, Tony kick it, boom. Tony for 3. Manu kick it, Tony for 3, boom. If Tony gets covered, swing it. If that guy's covered, swing it. Give it back to Timmy. Timmy, finish it off. And you know what he gonna do? that bank from the free throw line is going in. So Pop made it easy on the team. Don't force shots. Don't take a bad shot. There's always a better shot.
Right.
You ain't Kobe. You ain't Jordan. You don't have to take that. Give it to Timmy. He's 6'11". Let him, if he ain't going against Shaq, let him do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So Pop's scheme. Even when DeRozan went over there, DeRozan was only averaging like 19.
Yeah.
It's Pop's scheme. It's the scheme. The scheme.
But at the same time,
don't
DeMar can't stretch the floor. DeMar is an inside player.
Correct. What about
So
Kawhi? Kawhi was averaging 17.5 points when he was over there.
he also wasn't the
The
first
year
option.
before, the year before he went to the Patriots, the goddamn Raptors. Kawhi wasn't averaging a lot of points. He wasn't playing either, or not the year before, but 2 years before.
Like
So
you said, he wasn't playing either.
it's he wasn't. But the scheme is we don't need you to ball out. We don't.
And then at the
We're
same
going to win
time,
as a team.
you can't ask that man to give us 30 and guard everybody on the court.
Actually, you can because he will. He
I
will.
mean, he will, but I'm not going to expect you to give us 30. Like if you give me 17, nigga, I'm happy with that. Get
And
stops.
that's all Pop was asking for.
Get stops. And that was his most
score
important
for
job.
half the game. Yeah, score for half the game. Play defense for the full game. Damn, I'm sweating. Let me take this shirt off.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is when you look at that roster, the Cavs versus the Spurs in 06, I really don't see too much of a difference.
First of all, they were outcoached. They were outmanned.
That has nothing to do with the players. Outcoached?
No, it doesn't. But if you have a coach that ain't if how many coaches going head to head with Tim Duncan with Pop?
So that's my thing. At the end of the day, was he good enough to get them to the finals, or was you gonna say that was all LeBron?
The coach or LeBron?
The coach. Was you gonna say that coach of Cleveland in 06 was good enough to coach them to the finals, or was you gonna say that was all LeBron?
That was LeBron.
Okay, so if it was LeBron, then you should already expect for their coach to be out-coached when they got to the finals anyway. But LeBron should be able to outplay in the finals the way he got them to the finals.
That was Mike Brown. So in that
and
finals,
what was their record
right,
that year? Just so we could be clear, what was their record that year?
50-32. Nope. I'm lying because it says conference finals lost to Pistons 3-4. Let me make sure I get the right year because I put 2005 because whatever. But I think this is the year. No, I should have put 06 because they didn't qualify 42-40 in 04. Damn. So I'll go 2006. Mike Brown. They were 50-32. Yeah, 50-32.
The year they went to the finals against the Spurs.
Yep.
That's a really good record.
And they didn't just lose. Remember, they got swept.
They got swept. I get that.
So what that tell you? All we're going to do is we're going to nullify LeBron. You can do it this one of two ways. The rule was don't let LeBron dunk. He can get into the paint. He can shoot mid-range. He's not great at three-pointers. He's never been a great free throw shooter. Don't let him dunk. And they didn't. Once he started, all right, let me figure this shit out. Then he started dunking in other series. But in this one, you're not getting in his paint. We got 100 motherfuckers over here who will foul you. And they did a great job. You knew that they were out-coached the way that the games were played. They were the hack-a-shack, the fucking the wall that they're building against Giannis. All of this shit had been done already for that man. And I'm not the biggest LeBron fan. I like LeBron. I think he's great. I don't like him on the Lakers because I hate the Lakers. But in his Cavalier days, James Harden was the man. Houston Harden. So, we have an up and down relationship, me and LeBron. But that LeBron, if he had been 28, I think he would have put up a better match. But being that young in his third, fourth season, with a Mike Brown who's in his second year as a head coach, I don't think that they were just outgunned. Everything you can do, I can get Timmy to do. And then for your extras, I got Manu and I got Timmy. Tony. So I can get 30 from LeBron and I get 30 from Tim Duncan. And then I can get 30 from Tony. Who the fuck else is gonna give me 30 on the Cavs? And if I get another 30 from Manu, who the fuck is going to give me 30 on the Cavs? We're already up
Tony damn sure ain't giving you 30 in '06, but I get your point.
Tony could give you 30 if he
Not
wanted
in
to.
'06 he wasn't. I
Because
get your
he
point.
did it to us all the time. All the time.
I mean, y'all
I
couldn't guard
fucking hate him.
nobody.
He used to come down the court on the left side, dribble with the right hand, cross that bitch, and let it bounce. Then he'll catch it and spin and lay that shit up off the glass. I hate the Spurs, and don't let my nigga Joe see this because he has all the highlights and the memories because he a Spurs fan. But dog, no,
Hey,
Tony
let me
was
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Who do you think would have won the infamous finals that they wanted to set up so badly between Kobe and Bron back in the day if it would have happened?
Okay,
Because
here's
like
a
you said,
disclaimer.
at that point, LeBron's older. You know what I'm saying? Team is a whole lot better than that '06 roster. So when you're looking at it now, it's like, who do you give it to?
Depending on the year, if he's on the Cavs, I'm giving it to the Lakers. If he's on Miami, I'm giving it to Miami. But
If
the
he's
way
on
I
the
see it, the
Cavs,
NBA, if he's on the Cavs, I'm giving it to the Lakers. Young LeBron versus Kobe at that time, no. You couldn't do nothing with Kobe. You know it, and I know it, and everybody else fucking know it, okay?
so you giving it to him in Miami. Why Miami? Do you think
So you
Miami
talking
had more
about,
firepower?
well, yeah, they had Ray Allen.
I mean, Ray Allen was old as fuck when he was there. Like, he wasn't contributing as Boston Ray Allen.
Did it matter when they beat the Spurs in the finals?
I mean,
Nope.
you let an old man hit a shot. I expect you to do
That's
that.
Ray
That's why
Allen.
we signed you.
Shooting is the last thing to go.
But that's what I'm saying. You let an old man hit a shot. He did what he does. He wasn't out there giving nobody 30.
So here's my question. We know who was on that Lakers team. Fisher. And let's say it's what, 08, 09 when they went against Boston?
Mm-hmm.
08, 09, 2010. Right? Because I think he went to the Heat in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm mistaken. And in 2010, Orlando went to the finals and they beat the shit out of Orlando. My kids, man. Come on, give me a hug, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, in 2008, Kobe them wins because he don't have a Ray Allen. He don't have a Paul Pierce, LeBron, to give him those extra buckets. You still got who they have? I can't remember the roster right now. Fisher was there. They had the two
And what,
7-footers in the
2009,
paint.
2010?
Yeah. 08, 09, 010.
Gasol, Bynum,
Gasol,
Odom,
Bynum.
Ariza,
Yep.
Meta World Peace.
Nope.
He was there.
They flip flop. So at one point they had Ariza, then they traded him to the Rockets
You're
for
right.
World Peace. So that was when they beat. But they only got World Peace because he was a better defender than Trevor Ariza, and then you put him on Paul Pierce. So I'm saying,
Yeah, he was pulling
just too
his pants
crafty.
down and shit in the post.
God, he was
Some
just
wild
fucking
shit.
Paul Pierce up,
hitting
mentally.
that nigga in the dick,
but,
all type of shit.
But all I'm saying is, if the Miami, because you got star for star, Gasol can go off, yeah, but we got Haslam, we got fucking Chris Bosh. We can put both of them in the paint, and we can go bucket for bucket with big guys. On the wing, you got Kobe. I got LeBron. I got D Wade. There's the difference. On the Cavs, it's just fucking LeBron. He gets jumped by everybody. Then when he met the Spurs, it was pound for pound. Who got the best?
Mm-hmm.
They just happened to miss some free throws down the stretch with less than 2 minutes to go that caused them to lose that championship. So, but talent wise, come on, man, we ain't seen nobody with the skill level, the talent of a one LeBron James. Anybody can shoot, anybody can score. You can look at any fucking pickup game today. Everybody think they're a shooter. How many niggas playing defense? 10 niggas on the court, you might catch 1, 2 on accident. Ain't nobody playing defense. Niggas ain't really trying to rebound. They trying to shoot threes. They trying to dribble like they Kyrie. You want an all-around basketball player? It's LeBron James, hand down. Hand down. They're my country boy. Hand down. But you got to jump
I
him to beat him.
disagree, but hey,
Who better all around?
a lot of people.
Go ahead.
Draymond. All around, taking Draymond.
Mr. Triple Single. Mr. 999. Mr.
Taking Draymond.
888.
Taking Draymond.
Cut it out.
All around.
Cut it out.
Taking Draymond.
Cut it out.
I will never pick LeBron as my number one anything. Never. He can probably be number 2, number 3. I will never pick LeBron for my number one anything.
You're not picking. It's maybe 3 people all time you will take over LeBron, and that's just off mentality alone, not skill level. You're going to say, well, I want a person who I know is going to do this. I want a person who I know is going to do that. That's going to be Kobe and Jordan. You can pick, if you had a 10-man league of all-time players, you can take a guy like Steph. Your next guy, you're going to have to pick a defender or a rebounder, a Dennis or a Scotty, or you're going to have to pick that. You pick LeBron, your next pick can be Steph or a Larry Bird or a Ray, because now I just need somebody to offset him. LeBron is always going to be the number 1 all time.
So
you can say, oh, I'm going to pick Jordan. Then you need a center.
So let's do this before we get up out of here. I need you to give me your all-time starting 5. And we gonna match these up. We do yours versus mine. Did you say Harden, Trevor, Ariza? Oh, I already got this one.
Let me see. My all-time point guard. I'm going to go.
We're going to go position for position. So you give your point, I'm going to give my point. You give your 2, I'm going to give my 2. We're going to go like that.
So this is given how careers played out. I mean, obviously we'll take playoffs and championships out. We're just going to go by how careers played out. Okay, point guard wise, give me.
Damn. It's finna get crucial.
I'm torn between Zeke and Nash.
Why would you be torn between Zeke and Nash?
Dog, Isaiah Thomas, that nigga.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but I feel like you had better options at those positions. But hey, this is your list. It's your list.
So look, I'm gonna take Zeke, right? Because he can shoot, he can pass, he can defend. He's not a liability at any point on the court. Now you can talk Chris Paul, you can talk Westbrook, all these other guys. Chris Paul stay hurt. You never know when that nigga gonna get hurt. I'm waiting on that nigga to get hurt now so the Suns can get out the playoffs, because fuck Kevin Durant. Go ahead, who's your point guard?
Magic Johnson.
Damn, I was saving Magic for power forward. I was gonna save him for the 4.
Hey, so I mean, he's not a liability. I'm telling Magic to put his ass in the post and give his ass buckets all fucking game.
Yeah, but if I put LeBron on him, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but you got to forget, my team is only going to get bigger from there. You still going to have this small nigga guarding somebody. And we're going to give him the blues.
So for number 2, let me see. Number 2 all time.
And we're going to stay true to positions.
Yeah.
Number
2 all time, I'm taking Kobe.
I'm
and
taking
it pains
Jordan.
me to say it, because I really want James Harden. Hey, Houston
I'm
Harden only. All right, so that's it.
I'm already winning, but it's cool.
Kinda.
You fucked up with that point guard pick, so you're going to have to get real.
I was going to pick Magic as my 4, but all right, that's cool. Number 3 all time, I'm taking LeBron. LeBron is small forward.
Number 3 all time. Carmelo.
Take bum ass Carmelo.
Give
I
me
knew you.
Carmelo.
I
You
knew you was
already
going.
know
Hey,
how I'm
hey.
rocking.
At worst case, it's tied. At
Hey,
worst case,
one thing I know, and if niggas really go back and do their history, he used to bust LeBron ass. LeBron could
Carmelo is
not
a
guard
bucket.
that nigga.
He a bucket. I hate him because he don't play no defense.
Hey,
So the defense we was giving up with Isaiah Thomas on Magic, we make up for it on Carmelo on
but
LeBron.
here's the thing: Isaiah can't score with Carmelo, so we still got a slight
No, no,
nod.
no, no. I'm just saying you're not going to score. So Magic's going to outscore you, and then LeBron's going to outscore Carmelo.
Are you
Magic is going to
crazy?
outscore Isaiah Thomas.
Are you crazy? LeBron's gonna outscore Carmelo.
No, I'm saying Magic is going to outscore Isaiah Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Magic is going to guard Isaiah. So with Magic guarding Isaiah, what do you have to do with the ball, Isaiah? Give it to LeBron, goddamn.
Right.
And Carmelo not stopping LeBron. Let's
Yeah,
just
but
keep it all the way
LeBron can't
400.
stop Carmelo. That's my point.
We'll need to. He'll need to.
He does. Because who do you think we're gonna run the
'Cause
offense through? Jordan is a diversion.
I
Your
got
whole
Kobe. I'm
team's
putting
gonna
LeBron
shift
on
to the
Kobe.
left, and I'm gonna give this
No,
nigga
we going
post
man up.
ISO on the right.
We going head up.
Yeah,
We
okay.
going head up.
Okay.
We ain't double teaming nobody. We ain't double
All right.
teaming nobody. Kobe versus LeBron gonna happen, and LeBron better figure it the fuck out. Or
Kobe
he
versus
his
LeBron
no
or Kobe
hairline
versus
having
Jordan?
ass. Kobe versus Jordan, I mean.
There you go.
And hey, that can go however it want to go. I'm just
All
gonna
right.
get it on camera.
All right.
All right, so let's see. My 4.
Yep.
I'm going.
Go ahead. I know who you finna say, so go ahead and say it. I damn sure know who the 5 gonna be, and if you don't, you ain't no real goddamn fan.
I'm not picking Yao Ming at number 5. You crazy? 4 all time. I'm going to Olajuwon.
He wasn't a 4, he was a 5.
He was drafted as a power forward. They moved Ralph Sampson to center or to power forward and moved him to center
So
because
what did he play? What did he play?
he was quicker. He was
What did he
drafted as a
play?
power. His
But what did he
position is
play?
listed as power forward.
What did he
Listen,
play?
his position was listed as power forward while Ralph Sampson was on the team. Once Ralph Sampson left, they moved him to the 5. He was drafted and played primarily as the 4, though.
What
So
did
he's
he
my
play
4.
for the bulk of his career?
Listen, fuck you. He's my
All right.
4. He's
That's
my,
fine.
When he got
That's
to the
fine.
championship in 1986, he was
Listen.
a fucking power forward.
Listen. That's fine. You take Olajuwon, give me Tim Duncan.
Oh, I'm fucking Tim Duncan up. And
Yeah,
let me tell you
okay.
why I know this. Because he did it.
Okay.
Because he did it.
He fucked David Robinson up.
Well,
Timmy was a young bull back at that time.
but hey,
David Robinson got the business. I ain't even gonna lie. Timmy was a young
But
nigga back at that time.
They gave him MVP, and then he was like, "All right, watch this, and then he gave him the blues.
So
All right,
that's
so we
fine.
talking
Give me Tim
5.
Duncan.
Ooh, 5 is tough because there's really only 2 names that can. I'm taking Wilt.
You taking who?
I'm taking Wilt. 55
Give me Shaq.
fucking rebounds a game.
Give me
Hey,
Shaq.
that's gonna be tough. It's going to be tough.
Give me
because
Shaq.
This
So
nigga
your
averaged
all-time
55 rebounds.
lineup is Isaiah, Kobe, LeBron, Hakeem, and Wilt. And mine was Magic, Jordan, Melo, Tim Duncan, and Shaq.
We fucking y'all up.
All right, here we go right here. 1-6 man. Any position.
Ooh. Kevin Durant.
That's tough. Kevin Durant.
Oh man, it's only like 2 people you can name that can pound for pound score with him. You know what I'm saying? But one of them's white,
Larry Bird.
and that's him.
Give me Larry Legend, bruh. Give me Larry Legend.
That'd be tough, man.
That's
That'd be
a tough
that
little.
would be I'm gonna have to put that shit on 2K and let them
I was
niggas
just
duke
about
it
to
out.
say, you know, you get on 2K do a little blacktop shit. I'm gonna definitely have to make that, and we're gonna see who win, cause that's a tough little fucking matchup right there.
Yeah, yeah. That's man. I'm surprised you didn't say like Chris Paul, because I wanted to pick Chris Paul, but that nigga get hurt too fucking much.
Nah, that's the same reason I ain't fucking pick Anthony Davis with his fragile
Oh my
ass
god.
and
Listen, if it was a 7-game series, all I need for or AD to do is show up in game 2. If he don't show up in game 1, you gonna lose the series because he only gonna show up for game 2, game 4, and game 6. That nigga do not do back-to-back games no more.
you know what's wild? Before I picked Larry Bird, I was gonna pick T Mac. That was gonna be my
Yeah,
six
he wouldn't
man.
have made it. He wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, we was gonna do Orlando T Mac, not Houston T Mac when y'all started injuring that nigga and some more shit.
Well, which Shaq are you getting? Orlando Shaq or Lakers Shaq?
Lakers Shaq. Yeah, definitely Lakers Shaq.
Well, I can only get like, 94, 95 Olajuwon, so it'll still be a good battle though, you know what I mean?
So wait, what
It'll still
LeBron
be a
is
good
this?
battle. Definitely Miami LeBron. Definitely Miami LeBron.
I ain't even mad at you because he has somewhat of a
Oh
jump
man.
shot in Miami, Cleveland. Oh, we
And
go. Hey,
the
I'm
nigga was
Mello. Give him space.
and
Make him shoot.
I'm talking about after they lost the first finals, Miami LeBron, when that
Yeah,
nigga was angry. Yeah,
yeah.
that nigga.
That
Yeah.
is still one of the
Oh
funniest
boy.
clips in my life when they lost in my and when he was in Miami and they showed like him walking through the tunnel. That nigga like snatched his headband off and he was crying. Like, you big bitch.
That nigga came back a fucking villain. That
Yeah, he
nigga
was
was
he
a
was he was on
villain.
some other shit then. He was pissed. He was definitely pissed. I really wish they would have set it up to give them they rematch. Like, if you kind of looked at how it started shifting from there, like even with the Lakers and the Celtics, when they was like, all right, we beat y'all, line that shit up again, now we beat y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wish Dallas could have got their rematch with Miami to see, like, can them niggas do it again? Or when LeBron came back with a vengeance, is he gonna spank these niggas?
Honestly, they got lucky in the Western Conference Finals. They won some games they should not have won, just bad shots, bad calls. So
Hey,
they really got lucky.
with the whole little NBA conspiracies, apparently what I heard was Dallas was given that championship because they were originally supposed to win the one in Miami in 05,
Mm-hmm.
06. You know what I'm saying? So, there's video footage of all this shit, and I watched it, and they
I
were
don't doubt it.
showing, like, how calls were favored toward Miami with D Wade and all this other shit. And then they showed the
Yeah.
flip side of it, how, Mark Cuban basically paid to get his get back, so to
Oh,
speak.
I don't doubt it.
But I'm like, hey man, this shit is wild. That's really why I don't bet on on sports no more. Like, I let that shit go because
Yeah.
it's too much, behind the scenes fine line shit going on, and you coming out thinking like, oh yeah, this team finna do this team finna do that based on what you see on paper. And then it be so much behind the scenes shit. It's like, man, a nigga done bet $3,000 on this shit, knowing this team should have
Mm-hmm.
won, and then you get fucked on the
Mm-hmm.
back end and lose your money. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm cool on all that sports betting. They can keep it.
I, who was that? I think I was talking to Sal, and he was like, "Yeah, Jerry Jones sold his soul in the '90s to get those championships. That's why he
Hey,
can't win another one."
he better
And I said,
buy it
"Hey,
back and
all you
sell
gotta
it
do is,
again.
as fans, don't go to the games because all these teams that could not sell out stadiums, they started progressing. When the fuck is the Bengals ever going to get to a fucking championship? Not never. When do the Jaguars make the playoffs? Not never. So they let them make the playoffs, and then they found out, oh, the fans are only here for the success. So let's give
Mm-hmm.
them a quarterback. Tampa always suck. Let's give them Tom. And then now we're gonna suck again. So hopefully niggas is brown bagging and they're not showing up to games anymore, so we can get the #1 pick because that's what we need. Caleb,
I mean, it's fun to
fight
be a
on,
couple
baby.
people probably tanking for Caleb, so
No, fuck that.
you never know.
I will do bodily harm to a lot of fucking people on my Buccaneers so they could be out for the year to make sure we don't win. Not Tristan Wirfs, though. I'm not gonna hurt you, Tristan. You're my dude. You my dude.
Hey, I will say this though before we wrap this up and get up out of here. It ain't Black History Month no more. I wish it was because this would be an amazing fucking thing. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts,
Light skin ass.
and Lamar Jackson for really being the three highest paid fucking quarterbacks to ever play this goddamn game. With these
That's
fucking
facts.
contracts they just received, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts, I hate him. He plays for the rivals, for the enemies. I wish they would have gave that nigga $2 for 6 years. But I mean, hey, he got paid. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. It is what it is. Um, I hope he
Oh
stub a
shit.
toe and is out for the season. I ain't gonna wish no major injury. Just stub a toe, be out for the season. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown, I hope he get tested for steroids and fail. Uh, and some more shit. But shout out to them, you know what I'm saying, for being the three highest paid quarterbacks to ever play this fucking game, and they black. Like, nigga, we done
True
came a
now.
long way. So to see that shit, and Jalen and Lamar got paid in the same day, which I kind of thought was funny because Lamar got paid, and the report came out like he's the highest paid quarterback ever in NFL history. And then like 30 minutes later, bloop, Jalen Hurts is now the highest paid quarterback. I'm like, that's some crazy ass shit. But hey, all in all, they got their money. Especially shout out to Lamar
Yep.
for doing it without an agent. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think I seen a report that said
Doing it
his
with his
mom
mama.
got like, what was it, 12, 17 million or something out of the deal.
Really.
Numbers may not be that high.
Okay.
She got some
17.
M's. I don't remember off the top of my head, but she got some M's, of course. You know what I'm saying? And that's just as an agent. That ain't
Mm-hmm.
even what he gonna do for her as his mother. You know what I'm saying? That's just
Oh.
her as an agent. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to her for sure, for sure. Jalen Hurts is represented by a black woman. You know what I'm saying? I forgot her
A
initial
group
title
of
to
them.
him. Huh?
It's a group of them. It's like five or
Yeah.
six.
So shout
They
out
all
to him
black
for
women.
doing what
So
he doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Black people, we making some strides and some tides in this thing. And I'm happy to see everybody getting what's theirs. And hopefully this shit keep going and growing. You feel what I'm saying? But
yeah.
outside of that, you got anything to say before we get up out of here?
Uh. Nah. Go Bucks, baby. The Tankaneers, baby.
Can't
Caleb
say
Williams.
go
We ready.
for a team that you want to lose. I just don't know.
Listen, tanking is a successful season. There's a Super Bowl winner, and then there's a first overall draft pick. Those are the only two winners.
So how would you
Everybody else
feel
is a
if y'all
loser.
tanked, got the number one pick, and then let's just say, just for shits and giggles, your fucking owner or GM trades that pick back to like pick number 5.
All the fucking Buccaneers gear I have will be going back to that nigga's house. Just get just get ready to send me commissary. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. Get ready to send my commissary because it's gonna be a long time for my 9 life sentences.
Cause I feel like on the real, Houston fucked up with them two fucking back to back picks, nigga. I would have definitely took two quarterbacks and traded one of them niggas for
No, no, no,
leverage.
no. There was no quarterback. There was nobody else to get. They built they doing right. Houston doing right. At least one side of Houston. We're gonna see what the
Because they
Rockets do.
took CJ Stroud.
Yeah, and then they took Will Anderson.
Right.
So you got your quarterback and you got your linebacker to build around. Houston coming. Houston is coming, and I hope they beat the shit out of Tampa Bay too, because we played them this season. I needed at least 24-6.
I'd have took Anthony Richardson, traded that nigga, got
Hell no,
another pick, and
hell
then
no.
got Will Anderson.
You ain't gonna get no value from him. As soon as people
Shit.
start seeing him play, him and
He
Will
ain't
Levis, they
started
gonna see
playing
like, oh,
yet.
these guys ain't.
It's the draft. None of them niggas have started playing yet. Several
We gonna
teams
see. We
needed a
gonna see what they
quarterback.
turn out to be. They did, they did, but I CJ Stroud is the second best quarterback in that draft. Bryce Young is number one. CJ Stroud is number two. So they got who they needed. I'm happy they did. I wish that they didn't
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want CJ Stroud in that system or Bryce Young because the Texans are just horrendous. I felt the same way for Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville because they're horrendous. They're always top 4, top 5 in the draft. Stop picking these guys, and all you're gonna do is fucking suck.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. I'm happy he got his shit. You know, he from the city. He from L.A. Rancho Cucamonga. I'm not gonna say L.A., but
That's
we
out
gonna
there.
see. We gonna see what he about.
Well,
So congrats to all them.
can't wait for the NFL season to start. Looking
Yeah,
forward to
boy.
see what the
Tank
rest
the
of this
Nears.
NBA season
1
gonna
and
be.
16, baby.
Yeah, okay. I hope y'all win 12 games. Bar Central, this has
Fuck
been
you.
another fucking episode. It's your boy Marcus J. True 400. We up out here.